Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back, kind of, for a round 8, week -1.
Yeah, -1.
Of whiskey
It's the preview
Wednesdays.
week.
It's preview week.
Yeah, we've never done this before. We're in a different set
We are.
studio.
You guys sit on the wrong side from each other already.
Oh, did you split our names up already?
Oh,
That's
here.
all right. My gosh.
How
You over there, Eric over there.
Oh
Eric
my
over there.
gosh. Now I
Okay,
can't
so
reach.
now-
I got
here we
notes.
go.
All
Here we go.
right. This is gonna be a disaster.
Get the names ready.
I don't need. It's gonna work.
There we go.
Perfect.
We did it.
Great, nobody's even going to notice.
Well-oiled machine.
All right,
Great.
ready?
We're already on
Here
late.
Here we go.
Take 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back, kind of.
Oh man, what a relief! Your name's in the right place.
Oh,
My
great.
name's in the right place.
No one knew anyway.
All was right in the
Like,
world.
half the people call him Eric, half the people call me Kenny. It's not because we look alike.
Yeah. Now I'm Joe.
Yeah, Joe Humphrey. It's just, it's
great.
everywhere.
But hey, now
It's
I got a
disaster.
fan club.
Great.
Membership 1. So, no, hey,
Go fan club.
in all seriousness, real cool to be here. We thought we'd try something new. As most of you guys know, because we sent emails about it, a week off.
Yep.
No drawing tonight, even though Greg's graphics said that we were here for a raffle drawing. We are giving no bourbon away, but tickets are on sale right now as
are.
we speak for
Get 'em.
the first week of round 8. So we thought we'd spend a little time tonight previewing the prize lineup because
Yep.
it's a little different than anything we've ever done before. And for our own selfish purposes, we thought we'd drink some bourbon.
Yeah.
Some of the bonus prizes that we're going to give away. Yeah.
That gets the
That gets the team
The
excited.
only thing more exciting is when I tell them I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
I get to drink
So-
bourbon and then I'm not going to be here.
So, but let's start. Hopefully, someone is watching because we kind of surprised everybody with this, or we sprung it on everyone. Hey, we're going to go live tonight.
Yeah.
So, if you're out there, you're watching, give us the comment, hit in the thread. Let us know what you're drinking tonight. But we've got a really interesting 12-week lineup.
Because we all know they come for the banter, not for the winning of the bourbon.
Yeah, that's.
It's for sure.
Yeah, this is. We'll test that theory big time tonight.
I know, right?
But it's round 8. It's the 3rd quarter of the year. Is that right?
That is correct.
So
yes.
these drawings will start next Wednesday, July 12th. They'll run through September the 27th.
Correct.
We'll give away a grand prize every week, 4
Yep.
bonus prizes. That's
Yep.
how we do when it's Whiskey Wednesdays.
Yep.
Proceeds this time around benefit our friends at United Way of Central Kentucky. As the round goes on, you'll hear some more about the projects that they're supporting.
United Way's 22nd anniversary.
Oh, 22 years. huh?
22 years.
So you're telling me United Way of Central Kentucky has been in operation here in Hardin and the surrounding counties since 2001.
That is what I'm telling you. So if only we had a theme here.
Yeah, if there was a way that we could play up 22 years of United Way in Central Kentucky.
Like, for example, what if in one of the lockers we put a 10-year Basil Hayden and
Yeah.
we paired it with a 12-year-old Lot B? That would equal 22 years.
Oh.
So that could be in one of the lockers.
Yeah. So you're telling me that if we had an Old Fitz 11 year
Yeah.
and a birthday bourbon aged 11 years,
Yeah.
11 plus 11 is
22.
22. Huh.
Or if you did a Kentucky par,
Got a quick
third,
comment here.
Joe is his
Joe's number
Joe is
2
his
fan.
own
Correct.
second fan. So,
If we did a Kentucky par, which
age 12 years.
I have not had. Have you actually
I
had
have.
this?
I have had that. Yeah.
I want to
Compliments
try this.
of Bourbon Barrel Tavern.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I've got to try that because it's a 12-year-old bourbon that I've never had. And if we also married it with a 12-year-old Rip Van Winkle, or 10-year-old old Rip Van
Yep.
Winkle, that also equals 22 years.
Yep.
I got a feeling we could do this.
Yeah,
all night.
because you could take a 15-year Knob Creek,
Yeah.
and a 7-year Bernheim,
Yeah.
15 plus 7,
Yeah. A
22.
17-year Eagle Rare, and a Kamachi made by Willett Distillery. a
You say
5-year-old.
Kamachi, I say Kamichi.
I don't know. I like
don't know.
Kamachi, but I
You
think
do
it is
you.
probably Kamichi.
So who knows?
But again, tons of great prizes here. But there's a black bag on the end.
Well, I
that
mean,
doesn't. quite
Do
add
you
up.
ever celebrate the numbers of years that something has happened without looking forward to the year ahead?
I guess that's true.
So if they have been serving our community for 22 years,
Yeah.
their next year will be
24 years.
their 23rd.
23rd year. That's right.
And that's why the final week of round 8,
Saving it for
September the
last.
27th,
Yeah.
we're going to give away as the grand prize this 23-year Pappy.
That's awesome.
Here it is. It's in the
That's
bag.
awesome. It is
Look,
in the bag.
It's, you know,
What's in the bag?
a 23-year Pappy.
What you got in the bag?
Yeah, there it is. It's a 23-year Pappy.
Looky there.
So-
What's the date on it? Let me see this.
All right,
thing.
you check it
What's
out
the
there.
date on it. And then also each week it's in 2022. All right.
All right, there you
Look
go.
at that. And then also each week we are going to give away 4 bonus prizes, which we are lucky enough that we're going to get to sample tonight. And
So-
some very cool things here.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
let's talk format just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. 11 weeks.
Yep.
12 total, but 11 weeks. Doors number 2 through 12 in our lockers are going to be closed up. They're going to have grand prizes, 2 bottles or 3 bottles totaling
Yep.
22 years of age. That will be the grand prize.
Yep.
You buy your $5 ticket.
Tumble, tumble, tumble.
You pick the door you want.
Yep.
We open that door. You get the 2 or 3 bottles that total 22 years, weeks number 1 through 11. Final week, grand prize, the last door, door number 1, which is actually the first door,
Yeah.
is going to remain open all 12 weeks.
You'll
Grand
see
prize
what's
winner
there.
that night takes the 23 years. We look ahead to United Way's 23rd year serving the region here in Central Kentucky.
Very
But it's Whiskey Wednesdays. The tickets are $5. That means we give away 5 prizes.
That's right.
So let's talk bonus prizes.
So the number 1 bonus prize,
So the second name drawn every week.
that's right, will be this Elijah Craig single barrel. And Kenny, were you on this pick?
I was not.
You were not on this pick,
No.
but this is
Mammoth Liquors.
a pick by
North
our
Harbor
friends at
Wine and
Mammoth
Spirits.
Liquors.
Yep, our
North Harbor
friends
Wine
Rob and
Spirits, yeah.
Eric. It is a 10-year
Yeah.
barrel proof Elijah Craig coming in at, let's see, where's the proof there?
132.3 proof. Jeez.
So much for working up in proof.
I'll just have just a pinch.
Just a small pour there.
Just
So-
a
Can
pinch.
I smell it?
That is way more than
you
a
go.
pinch.
There you go. I'm gonna try this out. Anyone else? All right.
Beautiful.
I feel like glasses are
Oh,
going to
that
appear
smells
from
fantastic.
off camera here. There we go. There's another little splash.
We can't be seen. We're
Another one
camera
there.
guys.
All right, there we go. So this is the 132 plus proof private barrel, single barrel, barrel proof Elijah Craig. You want to set that back out front?
Yep.
So
Man.
every week for 12 weeks, the second name drawn is going to get this great bottle of bourbon. I haven't even tasted it. I know it's great. I always enjoy high proof Elijah Craig.
That's good.
That is smooth.
That's smooth.
That's way smoother than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, drinks way lighter than the 130 plus proof. Except for not for Greg.
Greg's over in the corner crying.
Greg's choked up. Man. All right, let's see.
Man,
I mean, you gotta get acclimated
I really
to that
am
one.
enjoying that. I didn't think I was gonna. No offense, I just didn't think I was gonna enjoy that as much as I am.
132 proof.
Yeah,
Not a great way to start your first sip of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's the order we're giving the prizes away. In the meantime, we've totally wrecked the palate to get started here. But I've had several Elijah Craig barrel proofs.
Yep.
Including a pick that I was on that was 140 plus. Came from
oh, that's right. That one was that.
yeah, came from the Deatsville warehouse,
Okay.
which is always a win with Elijah Craig. I'm not sure on this one, but 10 years I think on the label there from Mammoth Liquors. So this is again going back to our last Bourbon Strong. This is a store pick. So if you're not in the area, you're definitely not getting your hands on this bottle.
Yeah.
There were probably somewhere in the neighborhood of only 200 of these bottles even available. So if you were local and lucky enough to get one, you're probably anxiously looking for a backup because that's a great pour. We're going to give away 12 of them, one a
Yeah.
week, every week. Now, well, July 12th
Next
through
week.
September 27th.
Yes.
It's our second place prize.
Second place prize.
So
Which then leads us to our second Bonus prize.
Third name drawn every week.
Third name drawn every week. A
Yep.
Wild Turkey Kentucky Bourbon 101, but aged 8 years.
I'm not familiar with this.
So their regular age statement is it 5 years?
I don't know
I
that
should
there's
have done
a
research.
Well, actually, I don't know. It may be a known, but I don't believe the bottle carries an age statement when
Yeah,
you buy
I do think you're
typical
correct.
Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Wild Turkey 101 is kind of it's become a little bit of a go-to for me, like if I'm doing cocktails, because I think personally, if you're going to build an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, anything that's going to be mixed, I think you want at least 100 proof to stand
at
up to
least
it.
needs to be bottled and
Yeah,
bond, right?
and that one just kind of pushes it over the edge. So this is an 8-year version of that product.
The remarkable 8-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon has been expertly crafted by the legendary father and son master distiller team,
Okay.
Jimmy and Eddie Russell.
All right.
It was aged for 8 years in classic number 4 char American oak barrels.
You know what? You could have a pour of this, but you got to finish that first.
I know.
So is anyone watching? Because if you are, please tell us what you're drinking. We're about to have 8-year-old Wild Turkey 101.
I feel like we're doing the weather.
At 2 a.m.
It's gonna rain.
There's a warm front coming in. Here's the great thing.
Next week.
Here's the great thing. YouTube, we're live streaming, but this is going to remain available on demand,
Yeah.
which means anybody between now and the first drawing of round 8 that wants to know a little bit about the prizes and the bonus prizes can tune in. They can watch
That's
this
right.
video. Yep,
That's right.
it's out there. So hopefully folks will take advantage of it.
Okay,
All right.
Not 130
Team,
proof.
anybody else?
Do it right now. I'm working through that.
You got to get serious. I mean, we're trying to be on pace here.
Yeah, it's pregame.
So, all right.
Trying to find the age statement of 101. I'm trying to find yours.
Team's on it.
All right.
Guess we should have given folks more than a 2.5 hour heads up that we were going to do this, but you know. Oh man, that's got a great nose.
It does have a good nose.
Now it's interesting because I think Jimmy Russell has often said that 8 years is what he considers the sweet spot. Like getting beyond that, he feels like maybe you get maybe to the point where too much oak, too much tannins, and he
Yeah.
really likes kind of keeping it in here. All right, so Ricky's watching.
6 year is the non-disclosed
Okay,
age statement.
so we're getting a couple of
6 years.
additional.
Okay.
We're getting a couple of additional years on the age here. Ricky is having Old Raleigh. I'm not familiar. I heard about them a little bit online this week. So maybe Ricky can tell us a little bit about Old Raleigh. I'm not familiar with that brand, but I heard some good things.
Again. Way smoother than I was
much.
expecting.
Yeah.
Even for the 101 statement, has a slight bite, but I like it.
Yeah, I think I would know
It's
that
not-
was a Wild Turkey product regardless.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of, it's a little bit of theirs, a little bit of spice, a little bit of a kick. It's good. That's why I think it does such a good job of like standing up to cocktails. I like this one a lot. I win that for a $5 ticket. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Retails for $110, which is what's retail on regular Wild Turkey?
I'm gonna say 30, mid 30s,
35.
Yeah.
That's where my head was at. But
I mean, a couple more years in the barrel.
no, I know.
And
101 MSRP is 25, but it's probably selling for 35.
but to have a $110 MSRP on a Wild Turkey, my initial thought was, well, that seems interesting because I didn't know this was out.
I like John. John's a planner.
Okay.
John knows what he's going to do later tonight.
Oh.
Like, we literally figured out we were doing this
2.5
and let
hours
everyone
ago.
know about 2.5 hours ago. We could use some of John's kind of thinking around here with a plan. But I'm glad John's got plans to enjoy some MB rolling later tonight. Look, I'm excited about getting to this next one, so I'm going to let you pass that over. I'm going to grab this one. I didn't know about this label. This one has been in the office a week. We know that the fourth name drawn every week for the next 12 weeks is going to get a bottle of this.
Yes.
I want to show you what's happened to this bottle in the week that it's been here in our office. Like,
And
we put in some work.
you and I each have one of these.
Yeah. Well,
Mine's
so
open at the house.
the first time I had this was last Wednesday when we drew.
Yep.
And, you know, we're busy. It's an active night. Like, I had it. Somebody brought it to me. Thanks. You know, this is what we're trying. I was sitting with the guys the other day. It was a quarterly meeting of the Joe Humphrey fan club. We had gotten together here at the office. And I just got to have this kind of in the space of just enjoying bourbon, and was like, whoa. Went immediately and grabbed a bottle to make sure I had one on hand. This is 2XO, which stands for 2 times oak.
Yep.
So it's a double oaked finish. So we're big fans of the
Yeah,
toasted approach.
always.
We love Woodford double oaked. We like Old Forester 1910. And then there's the real special ones out there: the toasted
Double
Elijah
oak,
Craig,
yep.
the double oaked, Michter's toasted, like anything. Michter's does toasted. So this is that approach. And this is 2XO. It is the Inns Keeper blend.
Okay.
Okay. Comes in, there's probably a proof statement on here somewhere. Well,
Yeah,
there
I
has
think
to
it was
be.
108,
Okay.
104, excuse me.
Somebody come and
104.
get their wild turkey, because I've got it sitting here. Come on now. I gotta have space in the jigger. Ricky says that O'Reilly is a is a micro distillery? ? Hey, Ricky, you own it. You're the expert right now. Right outside of Raleigh in Zebulon, North Carolina.
All right.
Worth noting, we've never had a winner from Zebulon.
I
So-
just finished this.
Oh,
before
you've
you
already.
came- Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was sipping on.
Oh,
before.
okay.
So I'm not going to have it because I have not had any of the next one, and that's the one I'm.
Like, I'm going to have this one because I want to be reminded. Let's see.
But
We're
seriously,
seasoning the table over here. I love it.
if this is at your local watering hole, get it.
Yeah.
Because it is fantastic.
So, did you have some familiarity, or like
Dixon
you
Mead.
you were out putting in work? Look, these raffles don't just happen.
Yeah.
So credit to the entire team. I mean, my dad was asking me this past week. We were having a conversation. He said, "So, like, how many people were there on Wednesdays?" And I said, "Well, you know, there's 3 that allow the live stream to go on."
Yeah.
And I said, "But you know, it's a whole team. Like, there's folks that show up to
Cut
do important
tickets.
things like cut tickets. There's people that show up to do important things like pour bourbon.
Yeah.
And mic checks and all those sorts of things. And it really is cool. Like, I've joked, we're all terrible at poker, so we do this to
Yeah.
hang out
Yeah.
instead. But you put in work identifying prizes. This one's been a lot of fun. There was a lot of math involved in spreadsheets to get to 22 years on all these.
And you could tell it had been a 4-day weekend because I was on the struggle bus today.
Oh
with
man,
math.
it was just like, I loved it that like 4 times in you go, final answer. The best moment was when you came in and said, "Oh no, that Penelope toasted oak," and I was like, "Last raffle, Eric. No, that's not this time."
That's not this receipt. That is right.
But here's the cool thing, and because I mean, we try to keep this interesting. One of the weeks, a grand prize winner is going to win 3 bottles.
Yep.
They're going to get an Old Rip 10. They're going to get a 6-year Wilderness Trail rye, I believe,
Signed.
signed.
Thanks to our friend Joe Humphrey.
Yeah, compliments from Joe Humphrey, who made that bottle available to us.
That's right.
And then they're going to get a 6-year Heaven Hill that is discontinued.
I was gonna say, which is not your normal Heaven Hill, your green label.
Yeah,
as they don't make it anymore.
As I understand it, you can't buy this anymore. And as Legend would have it beforehand, I think this was only distributed in Central Kentucky. It was bottom shelf, like, I don't know, help me out, Joe, $18. Yeah, maybe cheaper than that.
$11.99 is what I had in my head. Yeah.
What I always heard was it was what Heaven Hill made for their employees to be able to go out and buy.
Gotcha.
And you know, locally, you kind of got put onto it. It's a fantastic 6-year bourbon. I mean, 6 years is pretty significant. That's a cool set to me because it's a few unique things. I mean, who wouldn't want a 10-year allocated Old Rip?
Sure.
But then to get a couple of things that are interesting there to round out the 22 years. But let's go back to the 2XO because we're sampling that. Anybody else?
I'm still on the.
Man, y'all got to keep up.
So was it? I
Were
was at
you
John-
familiar?
Well, no, I was
Okay.
not. So I was at John O's, and we were looking for some unique prizes. We already knew we were going to do this Elijah Craig. We already knew about the next one that we're going to talk about, but we were trying to figure out what the middle ground was, and we quickly landed on the wild turkey. And then John said, "Have you had 2XO?" And I said, "No, I'm not familiar." And he said, "Oh, dude," and he handed me a bottle. He said, "You have to, you have to." So we sampled it and immediately went back and bought 12 more
Okay.
for this.
Yeah.
And I picked up one when I was there this afternoon, and I've still got one open in the bar. So it really is fantastic. I'm scared that it's going to go away.
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna
'cause
be
it's
hard to
limited
get,
release.
and so I feel like I need to get a case or two
What's
of
the
it.
distillery? Dixon Dean, I think. Is that the distillery? It's on the very front. It's on the very front.
Oh,
There you go.
2 Times Oak by Dixon
What a-
Deedman.
What a,
Deadman. D-E-D-M-A-N.
Little alliteration there.
what a great distillery name.
Retails for 95?
90, yeah.
Like right around
$94.99.
$95.
Yep.
Here's where I'm at. We tried this last week, and I was like, oh man, I got to grab a bottle for the shelf. I just want one of these around. I've just had another taste. My immediate thought was, go buy another one of these, because it does everything that I like about the toasted barrels. There's usually 2 things that I pick up, and I'm not much like, sometimes people, like, what notes are you getting on that? Bourbon. Like, I taste bourbon. But on this one, I will say it comes through for me. We talked about this a little bit the other day, like campfire marshmallows. Like initially that real charred burnt, but then the linger, it just unfolds this marshmallow sweetness to me. I absolutely love it. I've got one on the shelf at home. That one sip has me ready to go back and grab another bottle.
So what-
like, it's going to be a lot of fun to give 12 of these away.
What this reminds me of, and in a different way, but they made a bottle called Black Maple Hill, and it was a tall bottle, kind of cylindrical. Actually, it kind of looked more like your old Rip Van Winkle, white label with a red background, red lettering. I think it had a horse or something on the front of it. I'm trying to remember now. We discovered that, bought it. They were like $80, $90 a bottle at that point, and we ended up buying a couple cases of it because we liked it so much and we drank them all. If you're lucky enough to find one today on the secondary market, you're well north of $1,000.
And you talk about this one, like, I don't mean this anyway, a lot. Like, I know it left an impression.
I just enjoyed it so much, and this reminds me. It's not the same flavor profile, but this reminds me of that, to where I'm like, crap, I need to go buy 2 or 3 cases, some to drink and some to save for when I say, remember 2XO when you could get it for $90 and now it's $1,000 a bottle? And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it reminds
You heard it
me.
here first.
Yeah.
folks.
I am curious, and we'll have to ask this again next week, because obviously, again, we've just kind of done this on the fly tonight. I wonder how many folks out there are familiar with this label. Folks that participate in the raffle, because I think it's a relatively new introduction.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, since they call this the Innkeeper's Batch or blend, that they're doing this in different releases of blends. But I'd just be curious if others have had this. I'm impressed. I really am. And there's so many labels emerging and new things out there. It's really a treat when, like, you get something kind of relatively unknown like this, at least unknown to us.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man. And it right now it's not allocated. We could find it. We bought enough to give away 12 of them between now and September 27th. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll introduce a few folks to this.
That's right.
So, all right.
And last,
But not least,
but not least,
this one's got a cool story.
this one does have a cool story.
I'm gonna let you set that.
These have not been out very long.
Nope.
Matter of fact, this specific bottle, I think, has only been out a week or 2 now. Pursuit United, Cecil and Coleman. So Ryan Cecil is one of my fraternity brothers, actually.
Okay.
I don't see Ryan often, but we graduated from the University of Louisville together. They have the Bourbon Pursuit podcast,
Yeah.
which is one of the #1 bourbon podcasts in the world.
So many of you that are participating in Whiskey Wednesdays or Bourbon Strong might have found out about us through our collaboration.
That's
with Bourbon Pursuit. We work closely with Kenny Coleman, the other member of that team. We have been advertising with them thanks to Greg's efforts on audio files, and we've heard feedback from you guys. Oh yeah, I found out about this through Bourbon Pursuit. I heard the ad, whatever the case may be. So we're so appreciative of Kenny and Ryan for letting us be a part of that and to participate in what is really a cool thing that they've accomplished. And as, I don't know, maybe as a little bit of a shout out and nod to them, it's gonna be a lot of cool, it's gonna be really cool giving away some of the brand that they've launched.
And this one specifically, the Oak Collection, this is their blended straight bourbon whiskey finished with toasted American and French oak. So this is their
Finished, toasted, you say?
Toasted.
All right.
toasted version. I have 2 of these at the house.
I don't want to call you out.
One of them is almost gone. What?
Well, I said earlier, I was like, oh, we need to try that. I've got one, we'll open it. And
Yeah.
you said, well, I've got one in the house, but there's not much left.
It was very good. I have shared it, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
is fantastic.
Shared it.
Yeah, I mean, I shared half a pour with somebody. The rest of it,
Yeah.
this
So,
is mine.
well, I mean, that's one way to get them open, right?
Listen, I've had it for almost a week now, so no, a little longer.
Well, and hey, big
we just
congrats
had
to Kenny and Ryan for getting to the point that they've got a product on the shelf. That is no
and
small
a very
undertaking.
cool bottle. Very simple. I would call this simple. The CC logo at the top.
Beautiful
it is-
branding.
Yes, it is a clean look, a little shine to their different. They've got what, red,
Green,
orange,
I think,
and
with
green,
the rye.
right?
Yep.
Green with the rye.
Yep.
They're all actually sitting on the other side of the wall.
Quit talking about it. Let's
I know,
drink it.
I know. That's
So-
why I didn't.
So Pursuit United, from the same folks that brought you the Bourbon Pursuit podcast.
We need to ask them because not next week, but the week after we will be on their podcast. Is that right?
We're recording.
We're
I don't
recording,
know.
yes.
I'm not sure when that episode will be released, but we're looking forward to a chance to go and record with those guys. They're going to give us a chance to tell a little bit about the Give 270 story. In fact, I think it was a conversation that Kenny and I had when we were talking about maybe doing some long-term advertising with them. I think I'm remembering this right. Kenny said, so tell me about Give 270. What's the origin story? And I was like, oh, what a great question. So yeah, another nod to Kenny Coleman. That's one of the best questions I've ever been asked. And I think I've used it since without acknowledging him. So for that, I'm sorry. A little bit.
I just really enjoy this.
Okay.
Age on this?
This is, I don't know about the age. It's 108 proof.
Right in the sweet spot.
Blend there.
It's
Another great
That's
nose.
delicious. That's really good.
I mean, the 5th person coming out of the tumbler all 12 weeks is getting a bottle of this.
That's really good.
The nose alone is worth $5.
I mean,
I mean, come on.
now I will say this. I've gotten weak in my old age. I need to go back, what I need to do is go back to my stainless steel ice cubes because I do like my bourbon chilled.
You're gonna chip a tooth, man.
Oh, with the.
Oh yeah, you're
Well, no. So I
4
have
out
been
of 5
drinking-
dentists don't recommend.
I have been drinking this over a large ice cube.
Okay.
It changes the flavor profile as any bit of ice does with any of the bourbons, but drinking it neat or drinking it over ice chilled, it's great.
Dude, no shame.
And
You do you.
these are like $65.
Look, here's my
You
take.
can't get a great bourbon for $65. And
The first time I try something, I want to have it neat.
oh, for sure, and that's how I had it.
But then after that, like, how's the mood strike you? Do what you want. Like,
Who said it? Was it
one of the first tastings I ever went to, we were talking about this the other day, Freddie No.
Freddie? No,
Yeah,
he said
Freddie
it,
No's
that's right.
wrapping it up, and he was like, now, people ask me all the time, how should you drink it? Neat, on a rock, with a little bit of water. He's like, we sell the stuff for a living. I don't care what you do. Just drink it. Mix it with Big Red. Put
Yeah.
it in ginger ale.
Drink it how you like
Drink
it.
it how you like it. Just make sure you're buying it. And certainly we're trying to do that.
And if you It's like saying, how should I drink it? How do you drink it? It doesn't matter how you drink it.
You know
Drink it
what?
how I like to drink it.
Here's how I'm gonna try to coin this right now. It's probably been said before, but from now on, if somebody asks me how I like my bourbon, with friends,
There you go.
that's gonna be my answer from
Man,
now
I gotta
on.
find some of those.
Yeah, well, so
Any of my friends out there?
yeah,
No?
no,
Nobody?
no, none,
Fine.
0.
Drink alone.
That's good. I like it.
It is good.
Chad, look out, is having the 2XO.
Chad, where are you at?
Yeah, so Chad, fill us in. Would really be curious because, again, wasn't familiar with this. Where'd you come across it? What's your impressions? Do you get those toast and marshmallows that I do? Because I'm always wondering, right? Like we talk and it's like, well, I'm going to say this, and then everybody's going to be like, But, you know,
So
it's a very personal experience tasting
some
bourbon.
distinguished palate out there is gonna be like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's
Boss,
be real.
You're fired.
We're good at sampling bourbon and drinking bourbon and finding things we like.
Yeah.
We're good at giving away bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't claim to be bourbon experts.
Oh, no, no,
Not by any means.
no. We're practicing.
That we're practicing.
Yeah.
We like the craft of let's throw a bunch of stuff together and see what works.
Yeah.
And we have talked about this, not the most expensive lineup we've ever had. Not the most hard to get lineup we've ever had. I think this is the coolest lineup we've ever had.
Very unique.
The variety represented here, the fun playing off of the 22 years that United Way of Central Kentucky has been serving Hardin and the surrounding counties is really cool. Was sharing that with their executive director, Joe Fowler, who had hoped to actually join us this evening, was tied up with some other things. But even within that, I mean, there's a few things here. The Evan Williams 12, as I understand it, you're not going to find that unless you're in the gift shop or international.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is, I think, a Japan release.
We were talking about it just before going live. The old fits, they're climbing.
We happened upon 5 or 6 bottles of these. One of them is going to end up in a silent auction for Children's Hospital. But yeah, these are climbing. They're getting harder, but that's harder to find. But that's the cool thing. Like this is a 17 year, so this was bottled in fall of 2004 or barreled in fall of 2004, bottled in 2022. You drink this, I don't care. Fill it back up with whatever.
Yeah, beautiful bottle. It's good stuff.
Iced tea. That is a cool bottle just to have on the shelf.
The 10-year Basil Hayden that's hiding out down there, I think you mentioned it earlier because it's paired with a Van Winkle Lot B.
Yes, they don't make this.
That's
bottle
not Basil
anymore.
Hayden. That's Basil Hayden's.
Hayden's.
It's got the apostrophe S. It's the old label. I mean,
yeah.
you can't. You're rarely going to find that on a shelf.
Yep.
So that's a lot of fun to have in the mix. And then we're trying to learn about this one.
Yeah.
So this is 15 stars. This will be another interesting one. Chad, man,
Hey.
we're right there. I appreciate that, Chad. All right, now I feel better.
So that's what he was getting out of the 2XO
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, that or he just is
crap,
like,
now
man,
I've gotta have a sip.
he's just feeling sorry for me. 15 stars, bottled in Bardstown, 14-year age statement, serious retail tag.
Yes.
Mid-
Retail, $279.99.
Okay.
It was retail.
I mean, that's from an MSRP standpoint, that puts it up there with like older Pappies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pappy 23's retail's just under $300. That's retail. You're never gonna find one for that, but that's retail.
Yeah. Oh, because we're paying that for it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Simple. Yeah. No.
If we could find it for $300, that's all we would give away. It would just be,
Yeah.
hey, 5 prizes every week, Pappy 23 year.
But I mean, admittedly, we know nothing about this
Yeah.
one. But we were intrigued by the age statement. We were intrigued by the price point. Obviously, there's some folks out there that think this is quite the bourbon. We've paired it up with an Old Fitz. Be interested to hear what folks know about this. But again, that was kind of the goal this time. Like, let's play off this 22-year thing and put together the most diverse, kind of interesting lineup collection that we ever have from a prize standpoint.
I did buy one today,
Oh.
and we'll crack it.
Now?
No.
Oh, okay.
But we will crack it soon, and we will, actually, the night we open the locker, we'll have had it.
Okay.
excuse me, unless y'all give it away next week since I won't be here.
Oh.
But we will talk about, look, they're sleeping. They're sleeping on the job.
There it is. Man, I mean,
I
you
don't wanna be
just,
a jerk.
you slid in that absence and no response.
But so 1,650 bottles ever made.
Okay.
So this is bottle 1114 of 1650. So roughly what, 8 barrels? Maybe 9? Well, probably 9 because
Probably
it's a
9.
14 year, maybe
Yeah.
even 10.
Okay.
But 103 proof. But I mean, that's, we'll
Yeah,
sample this. We'll see.
I feel like
mean,
this is my Google homework tonight.
I did just, 30 seconds of homework, and there were a lot of rave reviews
Okay.
on it.
Very good. What's part of this lineup? It's part of a lineup that we believe is our most interesting yet. You know, for those of you that were hanging out with us tonight, that's super cool.
Yeah.
This was kind of a last minute thing. Yeah, the folks here in the office with us. But no, Chad was having 2XO.
Did Chad ever come back? Did he ever say where he lives?
where he is, yeah, where he's at, where he came
Say where
across
he's
that.
at. Chad, where you at? Real quick.
John's
Type
got
fast.
plans later this evening. We heard from a few folks, but more importantly,
It's on YouTube.
we got a preview out here of what's happening around 8. We'll share this out on the Facebook and Instagram, make sure that folks get a chance to see what we're up to. And maybe most importantly, we got to try a few pours of the bonus prizes. It's good stuff, guys. We're excited about another round. We're very excited to be supporting United Way of Central Kentucky again. Great partners of Give 270 since the very beginning in 2016. Tickets are on sale right now. They're $5 each. Go to give270.org. They're on sale now until 7 p.m. next Wednesday.
Yep.
We'll be back at the Tumbler. Hopefully the Tumbler a week off did it some good.
And just to quickly recap,
Okay.
this next round we're going to give away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles of Pappy Van Winkle.
Oh.
4 bottles of the Old Fitzgerald, a Eagle Rare, and a plethora, a birthday bourbon. I mean, a plethora of other items.
I thought you were going to say a partridge and a pear tree.
And a partridge and a pear tree.
So,
and this one, which
What's the legality on
we've
giving
got to
away a
try.
partridge and a pear tree?
I don't know. Do you have to
Okay.
give bird food with it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's we're being told by our
Yeah.
standards and practices.
Getting a
that
solid
you-
yes.
you
Food
give
must
it
be
one way
included.
if you have to
Okay.
include
Good to
fun.
know.
Provide
you know.
housing, food.
Housing and food.
The next round is during Christmas, so we'll figure that out.
That's right.
This
Maybe it'll be
is-
a palooza. Who knows?
Oh, a palooza.
Palooza.
Ooh. I
Foreshadow.
love a good palooza.
Yeah.
So, and you know what else I like?
What?
Alliteration. Yeah. So,
I like when words start with the same letter back to back. That's what I like. But anyway. Listen, thank you all for putting up with our craziness. Go to give270.org right now. Tickets are on sale for next week, for week 1. And let's make this round one of the best rounds we've ever had. 'Cause it's a cool lineup.
yeah, it's a cool lineup. It's a great cause. United Way does incredible work throughout the region, so let's get behind them. Another Bourbon Strong coming soon. That'll launch July the 19th.
That is correct.
So details to come with a giveaway on August the 9th. Great lineup, again in support of the Kentucky Children's Hospital in partnership with Coaches for the Kids Foundation.
Same, great, not same great lineup, but a same as all of our other 50 for 50s. A heck of a prize lineup for that.
Yep.
We'll run that for 3 weeks, and then we will start another one that
It's just,
is electrifying.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
I am
Shocking,
shocked.
Really
It's
shocking
making
raffle.
my hair stand up on end.
If I had any, it would be standing up too.
And that will be loosely our first non-bourbon grand prize.
Yeah,
Grand prize.
it's gonna be shocking.
But there will be bourbon.
There'll
with the
be
grand prize.
plenty of bourbon, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
the grand prize, the majority of the grand prize.
Well, it better be a big deal then, Eric. People like the bourbon.
Just don't stick your finger in a light socket
Well, no.
to find out.
Dentists recommend against that as well.
Oh, do they?
True story.
I need to be a dentist.
Yeah,
At least
so-
know one. All right.
Appreciate
Listen,
all you. We will see you
So
next
fun.
week, 8 p.m. for the first week of round 8. Whiskey Wednesdays, aged 22 years.
You'll see him. I'll be on vacation.
All right.